Hello and welcome back to the video on the rest of the way and to another edition of Raw out of 10. It's a big show today because of course Clash at the Castle is just a few weeks away, and you know it still kind of feels surreal at the moment in WWE. Vince McMahon is no longer in charge, Triple H is now in charge, and boy oh boy is he really putting his mark on shows at the moment. So we're getting lots of change, and we're going to kick things off with a new group. Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky kicking off Raw. And Bayley says she was disappointed at the sorry state of Raw women's division. Bayley added that it was only Bianca and Becky fighting over the title for months, and both of them become rather uninspiring. Can't disagree, to be fair. Bayley and her faction, aka Control, were on the track to revive the division before Asuka, Alexa, and Bianca walked out to interrupt them. The babyfaces said that they were not afraid to take on Control right there and then, and the two teams booked a match for Clash of the Castle. A brawl broke out and it headed outside before Bliss hit a dive off the barricade before we headed for a break. But yeah, an interesting start to Raw. It seems like that's the team now. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see where that goes at Clash of the Castle. Yeah, an interesting setting up start to Raw. But anyway, the first match was Seth Rollins versus Angelo Dawkins. Really got the early advantage despite Montez running interference from ringside, but Dawkins managed to get some shots in off the distraction. Back after a break, Rollins got an STO in the corner before Montez ran into the ring with a steel chair. The referee injected forward from ringside, but Dawkins came back with some big moves and a flying senton to the outside. Rollins then missed a stomp twice before Dawkins got a near fall. Rollins then attempted to pin with the stomps but couldn't get the job done and resorted to the pedigree to pick up the W. And yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. There's been a lot of talk at the moment about Montez kind of outfinding Dawkins. Maybe there's a point there, but you know, I think Dawkins here really proved what he can do. Seth Rollins great, Seth, and obviously right result, 7 out of 10. The Mysterios were then backstage when Edge came over to apologise for hitting Dom with a spear last week. He said it was an accident, but Dominic wasn't pleased and went after the Hall of Famer. Ray made Dominic back off and told him it was a mistake as the latter stormed off. Ciampa was then backstage and said that he had the spirit of Harley Race watching over him, which meant he was not afraid to face Lashley tonight. Before we got Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel for about the 95th time. The match started rather abruptly and Owens was dominating off the bat. Owens ran through Zeke, barely letting him recover and sending him into the announcer's desk and viciously hitting a powerbomb on the apron. Zeke then was having trouble getting back on his feet and was when referee stopped him before Zeke was stretchered away. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really great stuff. Finally looks like we're seeing Kevin Owens get a push as a dirty heel, and I think that's what we've been waiting for so long. So yeah, I think this could go in a positive direction. This one, 7 out of 10. But anyway, Finn Balor was out next and told the Mysterios that he was a danger and warned them about the match tonight. Priest then challenged Edge to a singles match in the Hall of Fame's hometown of Toronto, wrestling to Wyndham. Meanwhile, backstage, Ray could not find Dominic and Edge and offered to be at ringside for his match against Balor, but the Luchador declined. Then it was Rey Mysterio versus Finn Balor. Balor had the early advantage, and Ray came back with some high-flying moves. Rollins then went for the Three Amigos, but Ray blocked the third Z-Plex. Finn tried for an electric chair, but Luchador reversed it into a wheelbarrow bulldog for a near fall. Rollins set up for the 619, but Priest got in the way and blocked it with his own face. Back after a break, Ray sent Balor into the barricades before Priest got in his face, and Ray attempted to get back in the ring, but Priest got a cheat shot and dropped him off the apron. Edge then came back and attacked Priest, taking him out with a near fall for a sunset bomb. Ripley then came out carrying Dominic on her back and dropped the young superstar on the entrance ramp. Balor then took advantage of the distraction, hit the coup de grace for the W. And yeah, in all the chaos, it's still a really, really fun match, I would say, in the background with everything going on. So get a 7 out of 10 from me. Balor obviously getting the right win there, in my opinion, and yeah, setting up the Edge Priest feud, which will be a really great match, and hopefully we get Edge Balor as well, because that'll be equally as great. Next up on Raw is the beginning of the Women's Tag Title Tournament with Dakota Kai and Io Sky taking on Dana Brooke and Tamina. Dana and Dakota kicked off the match and Tamina was tagged in early on, but she dropped Dakota on the mat and sent her outside. Brooke came in with a big dive from the top rope before we headed for a break, and Dana took a double team beatdown before Sky hit her with a double knee in the corner after it. Dakota came in and took a powerbomb for a near fall before Tamina snuck in a tag before taking the fight to Io Sky. Dana went for a cartwheel splash on Dakota on the outside, but Bayley dragged Kai out of the ring. In the ring, Tamina hit the Samoan drop on Sky and got a near fall. Kai came in with a scorpion kick before Sky came in with a moonsault for the win and advanced in the next round of the tournament. And yeah, this gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Good match here. Obviously the right team getting a result, but you know, made it competitive enough. And yeah, just in the end, a good showing for Kai and Sky. Kevin Owens was being interviewed backstage and threatened Kevin Patrick before reminding us all that Raw was a Kevin Owens show. There was a car crash in the background when Nikki Ash and Doudrop were standing around, but no one mentioned it. Yeah, very strange. but obviously we saw what happened later. We then saw Rey and Dominic in the doctor's office after the attack on Dom earlier, before he got Lashley versus Ciampa. Lashley got the early advantage and went for a stalling vertical suplex before Ciampa got out with a power slam and hit some big chop blocks. Lashley then got a huge elbow strike before Ciampa fled the ring to regroup. Lashley followed him out and lifted Ciampa before dropping him on The Miz. Back after a break, Ciampa got some big moves and a near fall, but failed to get the fairy tale ending. Lashley then came back with a spear, but The Miz put Ciampa's foot on the ropes to break the pin. AJ then rushed Miz out ringside and sent him over the barricades before Ciampa tried to roll Lashley up off the distraction. Styles and Miz then ran through this ring and Ciampa sent Lashley into the exposed turnbuckle before getting a near fall. Ciampa reversed the hurt log and locked in the DIY before the champ got out. Ciampa then got the Widow's Bell before getting another near fall, and Lashley locked in the hurt lock and got the W. And yeah, this gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Really, really great match. Putting over what Ciampa can do, but Lashley obviously retaining. But you know, for me, it's still one of those occasions where Ciampa was definitely put over in defeat. We then saw footage of AJ and Miz brawling backstage, and as the match was ongoing, there were booked some no DQ main event before we got Omos versus a jobber, or two of them, and he dominated the match obviously and tossed his opponents around before getting double choke slam and a pin on one foot. So yeah, just while I have nothing planned for him, I guess it's good for him to be doing this sort of thing really, and just building up before they find something to do with him. But anyway, Seth Rollins was then backstage and said that he was done with Riddle. Riddle mocked Rollins and called himself the gatekeeper of WWE. The Visionary wanted the former US champion to retire, or he will make him do so, like he so-called did to Cody Rhodes. You didn't make him retire though, Seth, bro. It's just out injured, you know, bit different. But anyway, next up was Chad Gable versus Dolph Ziggler. The two traded moves early on before Gable got some big moves and took control of the match. The Alpha Academy member then got a few near falls before Dolph dodged a moonsault before hitting a DDT. Gable then got the ankle lock in before Dolph rolled out of it, but missed the famous. So the former then got the ankle lock in once more, but Ziggler broke out, dodged the angle slam and hit a super kick out of nowhere for the W. And Jet gets a 6 out of 10. I mean, like, I would have liked seeing Chad Gable get the win here, but with Ziggler and his on and off feud theory, yeah, it's kind of weird what's going on there. I mean, it makes sense for him to get a W, so I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Probably the weakest point in the night, and it wasn't even too bad, which, you know, says a lot about the quality of the show. But yeah, interesting one, this one. But anyway, then it was time for our main event, The Miz vs AJ in a no DQ match. The match went outside early on, and Miz sent Styles into steel sets before Miz found a kendo stricken knee. Phenomenal One got a steel chair. They headed to the announcer's desk and climbed on it before Miz dropped Styles from the top rope and sent him over the barricades. Back after a break on Raw, Styles set up the table at ringside before the A-lister attacked him with a kendo stick before using a weapon to lock in a crossface. Styles then recovered and attacked Miz with the kendo stick before getting a low blow with it. Ciampa interfered and tried to suplex the Phenomenal One through the table outside. Styles knocked him off the apron and Ciampa went through it instead. Miz then used the distraction to try and roll up AJ, but the Miz dodged a forearm before getting the skull crushing finale for a near fall. And when Miz was kicked into steel chairs before AJ got the phenomenal forearm for the victory. And Jet gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Really, really good match. Styles getting the win was the right result, and Jet, just no key match, added a lot to this one. But overall, this week gets an 8 out of 10. You may think I've gone high for this one, but for me, it was just a consistently good episode of Raw, so I was maybe giving like most things a 7 out of 10. But on the whole, just consistently, just doing it over and over again, it probably warrants a higher grade for that, and in terms of the overall show rating. So yeah, that's an 8 out of 10 from me. Absolutely love this episode of Raw. The Triple H effect is well and truly on. But anyway, guys, that's the video. Thanks very much for watching, and to like, share, subscribe, no thoughts, comments down below. Follow us for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.